We wanted to try to
Yeah.
get on here early to
Yes.
touch base with you guys because we have not touched base with you guys in a minute. So,
Yes, absolutely.
I guess we can give it maybe a minute or so to see if more people get on right now, and then we can just kind of get into what we're talking about today. But I guess we can do our intros for anybody who doesn't know. I know my name is Nicole, co-founder of Glamourina.
And I am Kia, also co-founder of Glamourina. And well, we always say we're Nicole and Kia, co-founders of Glamourina. And then Glamourina is the go-to activewear brand for culturally conscious women. And so, again, we just wanted to come on here and do a live to wish all of you a happy Juneteenth and just to give you some updates on what's going on with Glamourina. Glamourina is, if you don't know, we are a Black-owned activewear company. Um, and we have some changes happening in the next few months that we wanted to share with all of our customers and followers and supporters that have been with us from day one to today. Um, so that's kind of what we're doing so far, and we might
Yeah.
just jump right on in. And
I
I
was
guess
gonna say, since you mentioned day one, I think we should kind of recap the journey a little bit for
mm,
anybody watching as we discuss what we're discussing today. So if you want to start
yeah,
from the beginning.
yes, I was trying to figure out how far back I should go with this. So Glamourina actually was a blog years ago. I would say my daughter was around 1 years old and she's almost 11. So this is about 10 years ago, guys. Around 2015, I had Glamourine as a blog. I was the editor in chief, and I had a couple of bloggers that worked with me and that would write articles on Glamourina. So shout out to all of those ladies. I'm not going to call anybody out, but some of them I still talk to. We still follow each other on social media. So I had a small group of ladies that I worked with, and Glamourine was going well as a blog. We tried to feature up and coming artists and designers in the DMV area, and we just tried to give a platform to showcase, local talent. Um, but it kind of faded after a while. Everyone started to do their own projects, and so we didn't do anything with Glamourina. It was just a website. It just kind of sat there. And so in 2015, I knew Nicole through family. I knew that she was modeling, also an artist. And I had an idea of possibly collaborating in some type of way. I just wanted to, get closer to her artistic abilities and see what we could come up with. And then that's when I approached Nicole about working together for Glamourina. So it was no longer going to be a blog of us writing. I wanted to turn it into maybe a store. And at the time, Nicole was painting shoes, fabulous shoes. And so I was like, well, maybe we could sell some of your painted shoes on the website on Glamourina. And so that's kind of when we started the conversation. And I think, Nicole, you were like, well, I kind of want to do something else other than just painting shoes. And man, we spent weeks just brainstorming some ideas of like, we have this e-commerce site. Well, we have this website. We want to turn it into an e-commerce site. What can we sell? And so that's what
Yeah.
we kind of went from there. If you want to take it away.
Yeah, I was gonna say, yeah, I remember the conversation. I remember we sat down and we were talking. I felt like we kind of had a moment of, well, you first reached out and I was doing the shoes. And I was like, well, no, I didn't want to sell my shoes on a website because one, it was manual labor. I'm hand painting these shoes. If
Yeah.
it were to take off, that would be harder for me, right? And I also felt like I was already overwhelmed with the orders that I was getting from people. So I didn't
Right.
want to do that on a big scale. I think that was just, I didn't want to take the fun out of it.
Mhm.
But I definitely always had the entrepreneur spirit. I'm sure you probably remember. I'm like, wait, I don't want to do that, but we can do
Right.
something, like you
Right.
said. And I remember the journey of just trying to figure it out. Like, we wanted to do this was before anybody had ever done African print bathing suits, by the way. We
Hmm.
wanted to do that first. We went to African fabric shops, and I think a lot of the cultural aspect has been with us since that inception phase of like, okay, we want to do something cultural. We didn't necessarily really understand how big the demand was at the time,
Hmm.
but everybody shut us down. Key, I don't know if you remember that. We We went to the fabric stores. I think we picked out fabrics. We found a local manufacturer. I don't know if you remember this, a local manufacturer in Baltimore,
Mm-hmm.
because we wanted to get these prints on swimwear. And
Right.
everybody was like, no, that's impossible. You can't do that. And it just felt like we were getting a lot of pushback in the beginning. And our creative vision couldn't
Mm.
come to life because we didn't have the right people involved to help us to mass produce what we were trying to produce. So we started there. We also kind of explored some boutique ideas. Key, I don't know if you want to, talk about that part of the journey a little bit with
Yeah, so I
starting
did
the boutique.
just with the swimsuits. I don't know if you remember, we created like a prototype, and so at that time, we also didn't have, I think, the knowledge and the vocabulary to describe what we were trying to do. We didn't understand at the time, and that's what happens when you start a new business, when you start something new. It's a learning process. So we didn't know about sublimation. And so we took some of the African fabric that we bought from the store and sewed it onto a bikini, a two piece, to give an idea of like what this is what we're trying to do. And we were like, but the fabric on top of the swimwear doesn't stretch. And like, what about waterproof? So we didn't understand, like I'm wearing one of our bras now, that you can design, you can have a design and get it sublimated, this is a special term, sublimated into the fabric, so it's not on top of the fabric, it's the fabric, if that makes
Yeah,
sense.
but I think I agree. I think we didn't have the knowledge about the sublimation process that it existed. But
Right.
I also feel like we didn't have the resources because the manufacturer that we did find, I don't even know if they offered sublimation. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
if they did, they could have been like, or may have suggested, well, we can't put this exact fabric on the swimsuit, but you can sublimate a print onto fabric. So,
Right.
it could have been a combination of both, but
Mm-hmm.
it definitely has been a learning journey from the beginning because I was an entrepreneur before, you were an entrepreneur before, but we had not tackled such a business that we have developed Glamourina into today.
Right.
So I don't care if you're starting a business and you are already an entrepreneur,
Mm-hmm.
so many things will come up along the journey. We've been in this for 10 years. Like,
Right.
it still blows my mind, but I've learned so much. I've learned so much
Yeah.
over the 10 years,
Yep.
honestly.
I agree. I agree. And so to pick back up where you left off, we tried the swimwear, and then we tried the boutique. We took a trip up to New York. We thought maybe we would purchase some apparel from some, you know, boutiques in New York City and sell them on our website. So kind of a wholesale deal, which a lot of you all do
Yeah. We
that.
went to the wholesale district in New York.
Right, exactly. And a lot of companies do that. They, purchase wholesale clothes that someone else made and designed and all, and then they just resell them. Sheen and a lot of these stores that are doing that now is what they do, right? But we got the clothes. We did a photo shoot,
The
and
photo shoot was amazing, by the way. Like, the
yeah, the
pictures
photo
were really good.
the photo shoot was amazing. Shout out to our photographer. I don't remember his name at the time. We shot in an apartment building.
Yeah, I
Um,
think Stretch did it. Stretch was actually my manager as a model.
oh
And
wow.
so a lot of the girls who shot with us were a part of his model roster. And
Okay.
he did it for us, I believe, for free,
Hmm.
based on our network, our relationship. But the photos came out really good. I haven't heard from Stretch in years, but yeah, shout out to him for helping us in the beginning when we were just had an idea and trying to bring it to life.
So it was great, and we had beautiful photos. We had these pieces, and I think we tried to get like two or three of each item that we purchased from New York to resell. But we had the website, so we were getting the elements in place, but it just didn't feel organic and authentic from us. And I think after, I don't even remember if we actually sold anything.
I was going to say, I don't believe we sold anything. And
Yeah.
I will say too, when you say I don't think it felt organic to us, I don't know if we really like we started this with I feel like we both have creative vision, right? So we knew we wanted to do something,
Hmm.
but we really hadn't we hadn't unlocked an audience yet. We went into this
Yeah,
without really having a target audience. So
right.
we didn't know. We just was like, we're gonna pick out clothes that we think are cute, that we think are trendy. We're gonna
Yeah.
do a great photo shoot, and we're gonna put this stuff on the website and see what happens. And I think we might have used social media. I don't think we did any type of email marketing. Our website was so manual back then. Um, but yeah, I think to a certain extent it was authentic to us because we went and we picked out these things. We
Yeah.
talked together like, oh, we think this could work, blah, blah, blah. So
Yeah.
there was a little bit, but I think the biggest issue in the beginning was we hadn't defined who our target audience would be and
Right.
what our mission would be. We wanted to do something.
Right.
And no, I don't think we got any online sales. I think we may have sold to some people we knew in person. But no, we got no online
Friends,
sales whatsoever.
some friends and family that were just trying to support us. Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, I mean, I agree. I think we were excited in the aspect that we had our website and we kind of had a vision or an idea of a vision of where we wanted to go with this boutique. So that part, yes, was authentic, but I feel like it not really coming from us. I think there was just a transition I remember happening where we were feeling like we want to create something of our own, like not so much purchase other apparel, and that there's nothing wrong with that.
Mm,
A lot of people do that and they're successful with that, but for us, I think we really wanted to like tap back into. We kind of circled back to that, the African prints and
mm-hmm,
that swimsuit idea, but without the swimsuits, and just again like what is something that we can create. Um,
mm-hmm,
I don't remember when the aha moment, the light bulb happened, but at some point we decided, okay, we're not going to do the boutique, and now we're just going to actually design our own apparel. And we did research, we found the manufacturer, and that's kind of where we started with the activewear
mm-hmm,
portion. I think, well, not that I think, I know that we were having feelings of like, wow, we're underrepresented in different markets, and one of those
mm-hmm,
markets was the fitness apparel market. We rarely saw Black girls in fitness ads and yoga
mm-hmm,
ads, right? And if you did see the Black girl, she was like one size, one complexion, and it just didn't show just the wide range of beauty and size and shapes of the Black woman. And that was always, at the core of Glamourina. We wanted to show Black women in our most beautiful light, from the tallest, shortest, big, small, dark skin, light skin. We knew at the core of Glamourina that we wanted Black women to be represented. So I think that's kind of it transitioned into, okay, let's do activewear. We found our manufacturer. We designed I think, our first stool samples, and even the sampling process at first took a little time. It took time, it took money.
yeah. Time and money. Yeah, it definitely did. And I think it's been such a journey. I would say 2015 we came together. We didn't launch the first activewear collection until 2017. So it took us about 2 years to know that we wanted to start a business or embark on business together, brainstorm ideas, test ideas, research, find,
Yes.
trial and error, find the manufacturer because as many people know, because a lot of people have reached out to us over the years, like trying to get our manufacturer, find how do you find a manufacturer? It takes time. We lucked up when we finally got to our manufacturer and got apparel that worked and the communication was there and the price worked. So that part was very difficult. And I would say it's like I said, it took like 2 years to actually launch our first activewear collection.
Yeah, that's true, because it came together in 2015. We didn't launch the first line until 2017. So just
Yeah.
one again that's thinking about starting, there's nothing that happens overnight. If you want it to be
Mhm.
right and you want it to be, not just successful but quality, we got some samples that you get what you pay for. And I think tried to tried to try out a few different manufacturers, and some of them were just, the cost was lower but also the quality was lower.
Mhm.
And so we were not going to put out cheap stuff that you could find in Walmart. That's not what we wanted to do.
Yeah.
Would we have made more money maybe? Because, that's how businesses run. You purchase wholesale at a lower rate and then you sell it, your retail price is a little bit higher, and that's how businesses make profit.
I'll
Um,
say not to cut you off, but maybe, maybe not. I think another reason why we didn't move forward with the cheaper samples and the things that weren't quality is we already knew we knew we wanted something different, right? I remember feeling the
yeah,
frustration with the boutique business. Like we're putting out stuff that everybody does, like the same trends, the same fashion. And I feel like we definitely wanted something that would stand out and be unique. And we
right,
couldn't put out those cheap things that were ill-fitting, weren't going to last. Like we needed something that was going to stand out. And I think we knew that and we learned that from the tests with the boutique that when
right,
we get these pieces, they need to be of a certain quality. They need to be what we envision it to be. And we couldn't just like settle, you know? I think
right.
we had learned our lesson with, you know, the boutique stuff not selling because it didn't stand out. It wasn't, you know, something that we felt like we would purchase ourselves or something that would stand out. So,
Yeah, and I'm glad they said that. Something that stood out because when we finally came to our first collection, the Kente collection,
mhm.
oh my God, I remember when we drew the pieces, the sketches, we shared them with just our sisters and cousins. Just a
Remember we
small
had the little,
group.
what do we call it? A sip and see? I can't remember.
Yes, that's right. We did. So that we could have, just again, a small group of people that we
Hmm.
trusted come and test it out, feel the fabric and give us their opinions and their ideas.
Hmm.
So again, any entrepreneur or someone that's interested or thinking about starting a business or a clothing line, definitely do, get a couple of people. You don't want to show everyone everything, but get some people that you trust that can come and test out whatever product or service you have. You definitely got to do some testing, some trial runs, some focus groups. That's what
Yep.
we did, like a little focus group. But once we finally settled down on the design and we got our first samples, it was just like, wow. I mean, that
Hmm.
moment was just because the quality was so nice. And people, if anyone that follows Glamourina, you will still see people wearing pieces from our first collection, and that was in 2017. I mean, they have lasted so long. All of our pieces last, but
Hmm.
it's just so funny to see. It's amazing to see women still rocking that Kente collection um, at the gym today,
Yeah.
10 years
It is
later.
so amazing to see. And I feel like it, I'm sure you probably feel similar, but it definitely is a proud moment where it's like we did something good from the beginning. Like
Yeah,
2017, we people are still asking for that first collection. They're like, "Oh, can you
yeah,
redrop this? I never got access to this." But yeah, I think we did a great job. And I will say, I can't remember if we got the samples first before we decided that we wanted to pursue. We needed an investor. I'll say we
yeah,
didn't want to pursue. So we got the samples. We love them, but as some people may know too, who have tried to start a business, to
yeah.
place a bulk order of a design, it costs money. And we had no history of sales, right? The boutique
Mhm,
failed. We had no sales records. So
mhm.
it was a big risk to place this bulk order for that Kente collection,
Yeah,
spending thousands and thousands of dollars. We believed in it, right? Our focus
we
group
did.
believed in it.
We
So we
did.
had some faith, but it was a big risk we took to place that bulk order and hope and pray that these clothes would sell.
Yeah, yes, it was. And like you said, we got an investor. We got a couple of investors at the start of Glamourina
Hmm.
from family. Thank God, because when you get it from family, it's not a huge it's you still obviously need to pay them back, but it's not
Yeah.
like getting a loan or something like that from the bank. So it gave us some time, some wiggle room to kick the business off the ground. But yeah, we did. We took a risk. We took a leap of faith. And I'm thank God that we did because when we launched our first line, it was very well received. Everyone was just
Hmm.
so excited to see this like African printed activewear. It was great to see, workout clothes designed by Black women for Black women, and even more so, like I said, it represented our core of wanting to showcase the diversity in our community. I mean, we had models that were plus size, we had
Hmm.
extra small. I love seeing the beautiful dark skin and the medium, the light skin, just all of that. So again, it's just important to us, and we were able to show that with our first collection. And it was just great to see. And
Yeah.
we so from there, that was in 2017. We continued to launch a new collection every year until, so it's 2017, 2018, 2019, and then in 2020, I believe that's when we paused for a second, still
We were
trying.
planning to, but we ended up
Yeah.
late. September 2020 is when we
Hmm.
launched the next collection. We
Right.
didn't
Yeah.
intend to, but
Exactly. You could talk. You could talk about that if you
yeah.
want. Mhm.
No, I wasn't gonna get too deep into that, but yeah, we wanted to take a break early 2020 to just pause. We had from 2017, like Kia said, we got a lot of support from that collection when we dropped it. I want to just shout out Madame Noir, the publication, because I think
Yes.
we got a lot of free publication, free press, free advertisement because people just liked what they saw. And I don't know how they found us, but I think that kind of catapulted us to reach an audience that we didn't know was there.
Yeah.
And that kind of spread the brand around. And so that kind of made us say, okay, people like this. We're going to launch a new collection. So we launched one pretty much every year for 17, 18, 19, 19. So 3 years straight, we launched a collection every year. Being new entrepreneurs, figuring it all out one day at a time. So
Hmm.
early 2020, we were like, or late 2019, we were like, we're not going to launch a collection. We were doing like Black History Month launches. We're like,
Right.
no, we're not going to, February 2020, we're not going to launch a collection. We need to take a beat. We need to dissect our business. We need to make some, adjustments, some updates to kind of make the business work a little more efficiently and just
Mhm.
understand ourselves as entrepreneurs and how to run the business because things were happening so fast the first 3 years
Yeah.
since launch. So we wanted to take a beat.
Hmm.
But the demand became so high in 2020, which was not the case for a lot of businesses. When
Hmm.
COVID hit and things like that, a lot of businesses weren't doing well.
Hmm.
But definitely with all of the police brutality and all of the craziness that was going on, so many more people wanted to support Black owned businesses. And we all know there's power in our dollar. And that's still a message that we enforce today. Like we need to do better in our community to have businesses, have financial power, and be able to employ our people and all the things, right? So
Hmm.
once we saw the demand for what we did, we had to scramble and
Yeah.
put out a new collection because why not
Yeah.
give our audience what they wanted? So I think it was September 2020 we launched the Tribe collection.
Hmm.
So we did that,
Hmm.
and then that did really well.
Yeah.
2021 we launched. Was it 2021, 2022?
I feel like the Tribe Collection ran for almost 2 years because that was our fourth collection. Because after that we came out with our most recent collection, the Melanin collection, after the Tribe Collection, right?
Right, right.
But I think with so many things happening with the Tribe Collection, is that when we add solids or anything? No, the Tribe Collection was two prints.
The Tribe, yep, it was the Nile and the Sahara.
Uh huh. The
We had
Niles
the
and the
reversible
Sahara.
jackets. It was great. But I think
Yes.
because
Right.
I think the Melanin collection actually did launch 2022 because we launched late 2020 with the Tribe collection. So because we launched
Right.
late, we didn't launch another one in February. So that ran
Right.
from like September 2022 all the way through 2020. I'm sorry, 2020 through 2021. And it
Right.
was 2022 where we launched the Melanin collection. And we ended up, that did well, of course, following
Yes.
2020. So we ended up restocking our first restock since we launched. The demand was so high, so we decided the sports bra he is wearing now, that was a part of our Melanin collection. And we ended up restocking because the demand was so high. And
Mhm.
so we kind of ran that and we've been running that really from 2022 to now.
Yes.
So I think that's a good recap of our collections. And just to highlight or just to kind of bring it back in. So 2017, like Kia mentioned, we really knew we wanted to highlight the variation in our community, the different shades. Like we had the fair skin model all the way to the darkest. And I kind of bring that back to the bra that you're wearing now with the Melanin collection, our last collection. we wanted to represent all of the skin tones in our community, and that's why we called it melanin. We have all the shades. We have a dark, medium, and light
Hmm.
because we wanted to bring it together. And the set that she is wearing is called Unity, and it kind of just brought us together. And I think that kind of sums up our journey with Glamourina is we know we wanted to bring representation, bring women together. Um, and also the solid shades that were included in that collection where you could do the light, you could do the medium, you could do the dark, you can mix them up, or you can wear them all together. And I think that just summarizes the tribe we've built in these 10 years of just figuring it out and building this business.
Yeah, and just shout out to again all of our customers, and our supporters. I hate to really say customers, really supporters of our brands since 2017, since we launched that first collection to today, with our Melanin collection. We have really gained a lot of knowledge over the years with this business, but we've also gained a lot of relationships and just connections with individuals, with other Black-owned businesses. We've met so many different people in DC.
Hmm.
Living in this area that I would have never known, I maybe never would have supported just because I, kind of stuck to myself. But once you're owning a business, especially a Black-owned business, and you're in a Black city like DC, you got to get out there. You got to meet people.
Hmm.
Not just selling on our website, man. We've done so many pop-up shops,
So
and
many pop-ups, and that is not for the weak, by the way. Pop-ups are not for the weak. You have
no,
to
they're not.
show up, you have to hustle. And I will say, Kia, you have taught me over the years of I'm not the type of person that will come up to you and try to make you buy my stuff. Like I'm not like that. So I've learned that sometimes it's okay to get in people's faces and really put your brand out there. And if they say no, and we've been in the mall when we did our mall pop up, and Kia has gone up to people and they just keep walking, but
Right.
you weren't defeated, and I respected that. Like, okay, well, if you don't want it, move on to the next person.
Yeah.
So we've been out here hustling. I flashback really quick when we were hustling on the streets of New York, and we literally had the suitcases, the clothes on the racks, and trying to sell our clothes when we did the pop up in New York. And
Hmm.
it's been a hustle. It really has, but you have to like put yourself out there when you have a business so that you can get to a level of the brand awareness that we have today, honestly.
Right. Right. Absolutely. So yeah, I mean, it's nice to revisit that journey. And we wanted to share that with you guys. I mean, there's obviously so much more, so many more details. We're not going to be
Hmm.
here all day, but we wanted to just share our journey of where we started, to, I guess, segue into where we're going and
Hmm.
what's happening today. So I mean, just to start with that, again, we launched our melanin collection a couple of years ago. We did a restock. So the collection is almost completely sold out. We still have just a few pieces left. We are currently doing a partnership with BET Shop Red Bag. And so if you see us on their website, you can see Glamourina. Um, but as of today, it is 2025. It is July 19th or June 19th. Sorry, June 19th, 2025. And I don't even really know how to say this, but Nicole and I have kind of decided that we think it is time to close Glamourina's doors.
I know
Unfortunately,
it's bittersweet.
I know it's so bittersweet. It's really, actually, it's really sad. I was reading an article from another woman who sold her business.
Hmm.
And it's a grieving process because this has been our baby for 10 years. And we decided that it's time to close the doors for, I would say there's several reasons. None of them are bad. It's I don't know if we want to dive into a couple of those reasons of why, and kind of how we have come to this decision. But
Hmm.
none of the decisions are like something major catastrophe has happened or Nicole and I don't like each other or anything like. Because I think sometimes that happens, right? Like when music groups break up, it's like, there's one that wants to do it,
Yeah.
but it's not.
Yeah. And I think it's important that we did this live. I think we owe it to, and I know you mentioned shout out to our customers and our, the people we've worked with over the years, but even to the models, to the
Yeah.
photographers to the videographer, everybody that who has supported us. And a lot of times, as a small Black owned business, we don't always have the resources to pay everybody, to pay our models. We've tried to, to do what we can to support our models in exchange for them working with us. So it's been a
Right.
journey, and I definitely appreciate everybody who has showed up to a shoot, or
Yeah.
who has showed up for whatever, our sister circle events, like all of the people. But some people don't know that this has just been just the two of us for 10 years. We've had people here and there that we've worked with to help us, PR people, internship program. So we've had some assistance here and there over the years, but it's very difficult and we also work 9 to 5 jobs. We've shared that before, but I don't think we've shared it enough so that people really understand that not only is it just the two of us, but we have been raising a child in the process. We have been working 9 to 5 jobs all these 10 years in the process. So we got to pay our bills. We got to tend to our families. We got to tend to ourselves. It's so much that we juggle. And I think we've decided that we've debated this a while, right? We've debated this, like trying to figure this business out. Okay, how can we change our business model? How can we get to the next level? Because ultimately, we've been trying to get Glamourina to a place where we can live off of this business,
Right.
pay ourselves a salary, and not have to work our 9 to 5, so that we can do the business full time and continue to grow it, right?
Hmm.
But it's been a struggle. We are self-taught entrepreneurs, and that's hard. And financial issues come about too, because we have, like Kia said, two investments in the beginning, but sales are not we don't have enough capital really to keep running. That's one of the biggest reasons. The
Right.
the model is not working fast enough. We appreciate our customers so much, but there's only so much we can do with just the two of us and the little resources that we have to continue.
Yeah.
Um, so again, I was saying that I'm glad we did this. It's like he had said, it's not that we don't like each other. It's not that this is ending toxically. And it sucks, right?
Yeah.
It sucks. But I think it's okay to end a chapter and start a new one, or, just appreciate what you've done. It's been 10 years. I keep saying it because it's so like shocking to me. It's
Yeah.
like, but
How?
I think it shows our dedication, our commitment to something, and that we can really, and two Black women can work together to grow something great.
Right.
But I don't know how we could go on with trying to have balance. We talk about wellness so much, and we live that, but it's hard to balance everything when you juggle so much and you don't have the resources you need to continue.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, and I just want to quickly shout out to Camille from Montage PR. Man, Camille has been rocking with us since day one, and she's helped us with a couple of events. And I remember a few years ago, we were getting overwhelmed with the business, and we were like, "Yeah, I think we're ready to quit this." And she was just like, no, you guys got to keep going. And it's not just her. Everyone has encouraged us, from our
Hmm.
family, our moms, our, spouses, our, partners, what have you. People have encouraged us. But I just wanted to shout her out because we just didn't know what we wanted to do. And she really motivated us at that time to try to keep going. And I'm glad that we did, because I want to say we came out with at least one to two other collections after that. That might have been before
It was
COVID.
before 2020, yeah.
Yeah, so with COVID happening and all the things happening in 2020 with the police brutality and the rush to support Black-owned business, like we would have missed that part. We would have ended right before in terms of just more support for Black-owned business. So I'm glad that we stuck with it. I feel like we continue to learn even more. We try to change our business model slightly. We've tried a lot. We've tried a lot of different things. We've tried getting mentors, and we had a couple of mentors that helped us out and they gave us some great ideas and suggestions.
Hmm.
Um, we've applied for grants and loans. I mean, financially, it definitely is a lot. It's a lot financially to run the business, because most of the money has gone right back into the business. I mean, as much as we've sold our collections and all that, to come up with another collection and maintain, office supplies and all of those things. We just didn't have, we just don't have the money to really keep this going without some major support. And I feel like we've tried to garner that support
Yeah.
on a larger scale. We've gotten some great support from you guys, from our followers,
Hmm.
but from big investors, or even what do they call it, the shoppers for the stores, trying to get our pieces in the stores. I mean, we've reached out to several people trying to
Hmm.
get featured, trying to get a little section, in certain boutiques and stores. And so I feel like we've tried a lot of different things. Some have worked, some haven't, but none of them were just enough to really sustain us,
Hmm.
to be able to keep running. And then, like Nicole said, just different things are happening, just in our personal lives. Like after 10 years, things change where our kids are growing up, and, we need more time, to focus on our kids. You have a daughter that will be going into middle school.
Yep, she's in middle school now. She has
Oh,
1 year left. So,
oh, that's
and
right.
it's
Sorry,
so
that's right.
crazy for
We're
to
going to
put
high
into
school.
perspective for people. I think when our first collection launched in 2017, my daughter was 3. Yours was 1, I would say.
Yeah.
So from 1 and 3 years old to now 11 and 13, or she'll be 11,
Yeah,
right?
it'll be 11 September. Yep.
11 and 13 in this year. Like that's our kids have seen and I think that's a beautiful thing too. Our kids have
Yeah.
seen the growth. They've been involved in
Mhm.
helping us pack orders and doing pop-up shops and things like that. So think about it, of 2 toddlers, right? To now 2 kids in the double digits. It's that in
Yeah.
itself is and yes, we have to show up for our kids. This is a big pivotal moment in their lives, like being 11 and 13. You
Yeah.
really do have to be there, be present. And I wish we could do the business full time and have more time to focus without having to work a 9 to 5, but
Right.
unfortunately that's just not the case. And I do want to say a lot of people have tagged us in all of the Lululemon things and like, oh, shop Glamourina instead. And we wanted to be that. We want to be the alternative for our people to be able to shop good quality activewear. But
Mhm.
I think one thing people have to understand is they're a big machine.
Right.
We're 2 people. They have the financial resources, they have multiple teams, they have all the things that like we literally can't compete without financial backing.
Yeah.
We just
Yeah, you're
can't.
right. And like you said, with the team, oh my goodness, a lot of people may not realize. I mean, it's one thing, I guess, if you want to stay a small, like mom and pop shop, you get orders whenever they come, and it's not that big of a deal. Maybe it's not something you're really trying to live off of. It's your business is more of just like a hobby, or okay, if I get a little extra money from it, that's fine. And so if that was what we were looking to do, then this would be perfect, because we get
Yeah.
we get orders when we first launch, and then they start to dwindle down towards the end of the year. It's not a lot of money coming in terms of us, for us personally, so it would be great. But to grow Glamourina the way we have so far, and then where we would like to take it, would definitely require the time. It can't, it's not like a hobby where, oh, I'll log in for an hour here and there, because the business will fail. And
Mm.
I will say that personally, because I've dropped the ball, and I'm okay with being transparent and sharing that with our audience. I don't want to say I dropped the ball, but I kind of did. I mean, I got married back in August and moved and started a new job. And I asked Nicole, for me to put Glamourine on hold for a few months while I did, gone through my transition. And the few months have turned into a year.
Yeah.
And so in many ways, because my life is different as a wife now, it's like just more to do personally. I haven't committed to putting in the time that I wanted to put in for Glamourina. And it requires time for the business to be successful. It requires time, it requires energy, it requires, still to have that passion. And Otherwise, the clothes will just be sitting, in your warehouse, in your fulfillment center, and they won't be selling. They're not selling on their own right now. We're not
Hmm.
big enough or well known enough where we can drop something and it works on its own. It's a lot of time. The marketing, I always say we have all these moving parts of the business. The marketing aspect, which has been all just us learning it's like all organic learning because Nicole and I did not go to school for marketing. That's a beast, right? To
Hmm.
really want to reach your audience, to stay connected to them, to whether it's email marketing or mail, social media, trying to create, reels and
Hmm.
ads.
That's
Yeah,
a whole, that's somebody, and the thing is,
that's
like,
a
we didn't
team
go to,
in and of itself.
yeah, we didn't go to school for marketing or anything, but I think over the years of figuring it out, right, with Glamourina, I
Yeah.
started to work in the marketing industry. So I've been working in marketing for 5 years now.
Hmm.
And I've worked for companies as a marketing manager, as a marketing analyst, these different positions, right? That there's whole marketing teams in these companies and dedicated people who have a full-time salary and benefits dedicated to one aspect of the marketing. And it's just no way we can compete, right? It's no way we can, even if we worked every day after work on the marketing alone, it's not enough.
Yeah,
Because for these businesses to really get the sales from their ads and things like that, you have to dedicate a full-time work schedule to be able to do that. And
right.
we could totally figure it out. Like marketing is really just testing and seeing what works and this and that, but we don't, there's no way. There's no way we could do that part-time or on our own, because like I said, there's whole teams dedicated to these things, and it's tough. And we've both, like, I know you had your time to transition and just adjust. And yes, it turned into longer than you anticipated, but that's okay. I feel like I just was talking about this recently. Like we have to listen to what our body, what our life is telling us. So
Yeah,
you can't force it. If you have to prioritize these things first, then that's what you have to do. And I feel like over the years, we've both had our moments where maybe I've mentally tapped out and Kia has had to step up, or vice versa. And that's one of the pros I would think about having a
a part.
partnership business, that when one person can't quite, and just like a relationship, right? You kind of balance each other out. But I think we've been doing this for 10 years. We don't quite have the resources that most successful businesses have. And so really just wanted to be transparent with our audience and kind of let you know, recap our journey, let you know where we are. And as of right now, like Kia said, the plan is to close our doors December 31st, 2025, after 10 years of business. Unless something changes, something big would have to happen for us in the next few months for us to, change this decision and decide to continue. And I think the biggest thing is we're looking for, in order to move forward, right? In order to change our mind and say, hey, actually, we're going to continue to do this, we really need some type of business shark or somebody who's going to say, you guys have something great. And we've talked to people over the years. Some people have been
Right,
like, oh, we want to invest, we want to, but we haven't really had any serious mentorship or investment slash mentorship. I think about the show, oh gosh, I forgot the name of the show, but the guy comes in, he evaluates your business, he'll tell you what's wrong,
mm,
what you need to fix, and then he
yeah,
decides if he'll invest in your business, if it's profitable or whatever. I feel like we really need somebody to come in and say, hey, you have all of these things great. This is
right,
what you need to do for your business model to make things work better for you. And
right.
here's an investment. I'm going to help you do this. Like the Shark Tank people, what's his name? Mark Cuban.
Hmm.
If you're out there, or whoever,
Yeah,
Damon from Shark Tank, whoever, we would really need a big investor or mentorship in the next few months in order to keep our doors open.
yeah, agreed, agreed. I think that's exactly what we need. And again, just thank you to everyone that has supported us and that's been here for us. So it's not that at all. When we say we haven't had any, like, in terms of major support, we're not talking
Mhm.
about, our customers and our followers. And even if you haven't been able to purchase from us and you've just shared a picture or mentioned our name. Hey, I know a Black owned activewear company.
Hmm.
You should check them out. Like, thank you to
Yeah.
all of you. It's those things have been helpful in growing our business. And again, our goal has always been to show representation for the women in our community, to offer activewear that was going to make you feel sexy and comfortable, and that you could work out in and not feel, like, what's the word, we want you to feel good about yourself. A lot of times you can go to the gym or go work out or go take a walk and you can easily throw on sweatpants and a bummy t-shirt, right? But we were like, no, we know that when you look good you feel good, and we wanted to create some really cute pieces that made you feel good. And so in all of those aspects we have succeeded. I find
Hmm.
great success in that we've grown our community, our supporters. This year we were doing the sister circle from January to May, and we had some amazing instructors come,
Yes.
offer their time to teach Zumba. What else did we do? We did,
We did Pilates,
yes,
we did breath work.
yes, yes,
So again, like you mentioned, I'm glad you mentioned that, just to kind of bring it back, that we appreciate all of the small pieces of support has contributed to the big success. So we completely appreciate that, all of it, every tag, every message, everything. And we get emails sometimes from customers, and people are rooting for us. So this decision, I want people to know, was not an easy one, and it just wasn't an easy one at
yeah,
all. But I think we've been struggling with this since, 2024. We've been struggling, trying to really brainstorm ideas to make it work, and nothing has changed. Nothing has really taken a big turn for us to really make us feel good about continuing. So we appreciate everybody who has supported us over the entire duration of our business.
yes.
Um, if you want to support us, I think one of the ways you can support us in potentially helping us to stay open is definitely commenting on this video when you see it, liking it, sharing it. If you know any people who may be interested in helping us, definitely share it, repost. I think the engagement will help the reach to potentially find the people we need to help us stay open, to help us really scale this business and move it forward. So I think that would help us to support. And while we really need investment on a big scale, or mentorship on a big scale, anyone who wants to support us, to help us to stay open, to be able to pay people, to be able to hire people, launch a new collection, you guys can cash app us if you want to donate to the Glamourina Fund to stay open. Kia just put the
I tried. I tried,
I'm
guys.
going
I
to
apologize.
I pinned it. Well, I,
Okay,
I don't think
perfect.
it's let me actually pin it, because it's actually.
Okay. Happy Juneteenth to you, Shay. Yeah, shout out to Shay. Oh my gosh, she's one person not only that has modeled for us and supported Glamourina, but she tags us anytime anyone posts, like, tag a black owned business or there's money for a black owned business. Shay has come through, has tagged us, has DM'd us, all these opportunities. So we really appreciate you for helping us out. Since we've met you a couple years ago, we really appreciate you and everyone else that continues to try to tag and has tried to help us along,
Yeah.
knowing our journey and knowing that we've needed guidance and financial assistance and things like that. So thank you.
Yeah,
Um,
thank you, Shay. I mean, she's sent us opportunities, like
yes,
so many things, and there's so many people like Shay that has helped us along the journey. And I think it's a testament to the fact that Black people can come together as a community to help each other, especially Black women. We've gotten a lot of that over the years, and I think that has encouraged both Kia and I to keep pushing, because we've had our moments multiple times of wanting to give up, but I'm proud of us for pushing through for 10 years. This
yeah,
is not for the weak. This is, we've had so much pushback in trying to achieve a successful business. And with the support of our people, everybody in our community, we've been able to accomplish a lot. So I'm proud of that. I did go ahead and pin our Cash App if anybody wants to donate to our fund to stay open. But again, we're not forcing or, pressing that. But if
right.
anyone knows any investors, any business mentors, anyone who can help a business grow and stay open, please comment, please share this video, please email us, whatever, any type of support or engagement with this video would help us.
Yeah.
But again, if nothing changes in how we're operating in the next few months, we will have to close our doors December 31st, 2025. And for anyone who's asking right now, as you probably can imagine with what we've just delivered to you, there will be no restocks. There will be no new collections on the website. Again, you can go and shop the remaining pieces that are there at glamourina.com. You can go to Shop Red Bag. Our pieces are there on their website. But once that's gone, that's it. We have no inventory. We have no money to produce a new collection. We have no money to market a new collection. We have no money to hire staff or do a photo shoot, anything like that, because things cost to stay open and operating. It costs money, and unfortunately, it just the bottom line hasn't been adding up for us to be able to do that. On top of the fact that we have not paid ourselves, we're just paying
Right.
bills. So
No, I'm glad that you said that because that's important for people to understand. We've had some amazing sales and throughout the years when we launch our collections, but everything costs from. I mean, the apparel itself is the biggest cost because we're not just heat pressing. We're not just buying something and sticking our logo on it. Not in the beginning, Who knows if Glamourina will change it to something else in the future, but that's not what we were doing. That's not our business. Was we designed like custom pieces. We designed and took the time to design apparel like this. But unfortunately, to mass produce it, if I just wanted a couple, it'd be fine. But we wanted to share it with thousands of people. And so in order to do that, you have to order, you have to place, there's an MOQ when you work with a manufacturer. So there's a minimum order quantity. You can't just get, I just want 10 of those bras. And if I want a few more, I'll get a few more later. Not in terms of the business model that we were working with. We didn't have a drop ship type of model. So man, it was thousands, over $10,000 for a collection. Like think of our melanin
and that's
collection.
just a small collection too.
Right. That's what, three styles of or four styles of bras, leggings, and biker shorts. So all of
Yeah.
our money has gone back into the business, and we've done really well, but we haven't had a salary. We haven't paid ourselves. So it has been difficult in that aspect because of that, we still have to do our 9 to 5s, and because our 9 to 5s take up time and family, unfortunately, just Glamourina hasn't had the time and energy that it requires to really make this successful. So to take it to
Yeah.
the next level, we have gained a lot of success, but in order
Yeah.
for to take it to the next level the way we wanted to, it just requires, we need help. We need financial help. We definitely need, like Nicole mentioned earlier, someone like how they do on Shark Tank. And we've applied on Shark Tank, by the way, and I think we made it to like the second
Yeah,
round.
I was gonna say I think we can say that now. We had to sign the NDA, but we got somewhere in the process, but we didn't get on the actual show.
Yeah,
Um, but somebody
like a
we need
shark,
help. Yeah.
or like Gordon Ramsay that goes into the restaurants. I think that's his name. Is like, okay, you guys are doing terrible. I'm going to help you out. This is what y'all need. Like you mentioned earlier, Nicole, someone to come in and really do an analysis of our business and to give us some guidance, not just guidance, but real help.
Yeah,
So
I think what we need to is, and I think they do this on Shark Tank, the investors will say they want to invest in your business. And then also you have to give them a percentage of your business. So I think we're finally at a point to where, like, even though we split 50-50 right now,
mhm,
we're open to the idea of a new business partner, because if that person is going to invest and help to restructure and really take us to the next level, we're open to that. So we're open to an investor who wants a percentage of the business with, if it's the right deal, because we
right.
really need help at this point. We can't do it by ourselves.
Right. Yeah, I like that. I like that you said that. A new investor. So again, just to recap, because we're going to be ending this live. I think we've been officially on here for an hour.
Hmm.
Um, but just to recap, we started our life just kind of giving you guys, sorry, I'm shooing bugs away, give you guys a history of our journey and how we got started. So if you're just joining us, definitely watch the whole thing. We try to give you a little synopsis of how we got started and what brought us to today. And it's been an amazing journey. And unfortunately, we have decided that we will be closing our doors at the end of this year, 2025, unless some major thing happens or there's a change or a shift where someone can really come in and help us. Um, and it's a bittersweet, it's sad. I'm probably going to be sad for the next couple months. I don't even really like to think about it, because this business has been great. I mean, I love doing Glamourina. I've loved designing. I've loved working with Nicole. I've someone that's totally different than me, totally different
It's been a good
personality,
balance.
but it's definitely been a good balance. I tell people that all the time. You know, we were not the best of friends. We didn't even know each other like that when we started. And that's good and bad, you know, in some ways, but we've grown to understand each other. And I've learned a lot from Nicole, and I've learned a lot just, you know, having a business partner. You know, it's not all about me. It's not like I have to consider somebody else's ideas and their worries, their, in terms of just mentally I've grown a lot, but I'm also sad because I don't want to let go of the business. So any business owner that's out there also that wants to share their story with us, that had sold their business or had to, you know, close their doors, like how did you guys get through that and what did you do? You know, we would love to hear from you all, whether you want to shoot us an email, a DM, if you see this live in a week or so and you're like, oh, you know, that reminds me of my story and this is how I push through, please share, and just let us know. We know there's so many business owners in the DMV, and we know that some of you guys grow into millions of dollars and then you might sell your business or you might not. So we just would love to hear from other business owners of, you know, how you guys have also gone through your journey. If you've been able to stay open, if you want to give us some advice, we're open and welcome to any advice and suggestions, from
Yeah.
people.
Yeah, I think that pretty much sums it up, wraps it up. This video will be saved to our page. People can contact us. I think I'll also download this and save it to our YouTube. Maybe we can get some more reach. We'll put our contact information in the description box too, for anybody who doesn't have it. But that's it. We'll see what happens at the end of the year.
Yes, thank you guys. We love all of you. Again, share this video. Please reach out if you have anybody in mind that could come and help and support us. And if not, just stay tuned. And we love you all. Thank you.